stand away to our right-hand side. And so, as far as Widnes are concerned, perhaps they won't have the bright sunshine in their eyes as Hull did in the first half. There's the kick-off. Here's the first drive from Marco Mealy. And Hull have got to try and rescue this game.
You could see there, Eddie, that a very nervous side of Hull. They allowed that kick-off to bounce. It just amazes me how in any sport you can just lose your confidence. Fair play, though, to Widnes. 2 quick tries just before the half-time break. Certainly put them in the box seat.
It has. Hull started this season absolutely on fire, didn't they? That's a good hit on Joe Westerman, though. Started it in great form, but then defeats to Huddersfield in successive weeks. One in the Super League, one in the Cup. Punctured their season. And Widnes are puncturing them here tonight. Aspinwall just couldn't hang on.
Well, to be fair, it really wasn't attention-wise. Good offload there by Marco Mealy. That's what he's paid to do. You've got to be aware from it. As I say, right from the kickoff, they look so much out of form, lack of confidence.
Let's go down to Rod Studd. What was said at half-time, Rod?
Well, Widnes reminded that they've only got half the job done in the first half, Eddie, by really scoring those 2 tries just before half-time, and the key will be working on their defence and keeping Hull's points tally down. They feel that they certainly haven't got the job done full stop, and Hull really have got to get back to what they were doing at the start of the first half. Peter Gentle has come down to the sideline to marshal his troops. He felt they started pretty well, but fell away from the game plan and get back to what they did at the start.
Cahill, great offload for Widnes. It's a decent little run from Kurt Haggerty.
But it's quite the obvious, isn't it, from the opposite, from Widnes. They're building in confidence. Not surprisingly, 2 quick tries. Oh, that's a bad error.
Not the best from Cahill, but Briscoe has it for Hull.
Oh.
Advantage over. That was Horn who got the ball out here to this near side. Widnes having to marshal up in defence, and another mistake. Could be play on this, could be play on this. Craven's after it, will score. Craven, the referee, will, I'm sure, hand it upstairs, or will he? No, he won't, he'll give the try.
There was nothing wrong with it, Eddie. I cannot believe the errors that Hull have come up with. 2 within the space of the opening 2 minutes. Fair play to Danny Craven, took the opportunity. He'll be happy, Dennis Betts. You'll see a different expression on the face of the Hull coach, Peter Gentle.
Danny Craven, he's alternated between half-back and full-back this year. He doesn't score against London, but he's got against Leeds rather, but he's got tries in all the previous 3 matches. And he's scored a vital one here right at the start of the second half.
Well, Willie Manu, I just couldn't see the reasoning behind of trying to bring someone on that short blind side. All they had to do was try to get into a good position. Take nothing away from the try scorer. Referee said play on, and he has every right not to even bother going. That is just, that's woeful. There's no other word for it. He won't mind.
Didn't the ball bounce absolutely perfectly for him?
I think that's the opportunism, though, of a side that have got some confidence, the winning games. Earlier in the season, players like just dive on the ball when it's loose, but now they're in front. They've built and improved as a side, and whether this kick goes over or not, if Widnes score the next 6 points, Eddie, I think this will be their 6th win of the season. And when we watched them at the start of the year, hardly anybody expected them to register 6 wins. I mean, it was a very, very long odds, but this kick could be important.
Hanbury has missed it. He's pulled it in front of the post. Yeah, you're right. A lot of people were writing Widnes off. Some people actually saying they wouldn't win a single game in 2012. There were always odds on to finish bottom of the table. Dennis Betts would have taken 14th with 12 points, I'm sure of that. And, well, could be 6 wins, but there are obvious problems that Peter Gentle has to solve.
There's nothing wrong with how Hull FC have started this second half tactically. I mean, Peter Gentle has asked them to stick to a game plan. It's 2 simple drop balls from Martin Aspinwall and Willie Manu. And they'll be disgusted with those errors, because now they put themselves in a position where not only could they lose this game, but they can lose by quite a score. Phil, you're exactly right. This Widnes side are confident. We know they've got tries in them. We've seen them throw the ball around against Leeds last week, albeit in a heavy defeat. And they could kick on like we saw them against Castleford in front of the Sky cameras, and they could register a big score here tonight if Hull FC aren't careful.
Well, a victory for the team at the foot of the table last night, and maybe a victory for the team at the foot of the table tonight, because London Broncos swap places with Castleford. Widnes will stay bottom because of that awful points difference they've got, but 12 points would be a significant milestone for them in this first season back in the big time.
You're right, Eddie, and you can see that full of confidence, aren't they? They're really working as a unit. Good defence, talking to each other.
Oh, he is a penalty though, not standing square. The referee did his best. He did his best to make sure that Alex Gerrard wouldn't get involved in the tackling.
And he did. Well, this could be the start of a lifeline for the visitors. They really have got to start getting back to the basics.
Well, if it is the start of a lifeline, it could give us a very interesting last 35 minutes or so. Brett Seymour, Richard Horne. Briscoe's seen a space, but that was dropped forward, I think.
Knock on.
It's a knock on, it was.
And again, poor
I don't
handling.
think full-back is Tom's best and chosen position, do you?
Well, I made the point. It surprised me that Peter Gentle has not dropped back Richard Horne, who's played full-back so many times in the black and white colours. And I'm sorry, but Tom Briscoe just lost control. 3 basic errors.
And
not difficult ones.
When you get jittery like that, Steve-o, you compound them, don't you? And you see these come on and they become almost self-fulfilling. This Hull FC side have got a big job to do to get themselves back into this game, and even a bigger job to do to keep this scoreline down.
It's a good job there is no relegation, because if Widnes come up and win this match, we'll have 3 teams at the bottom on 12 points with 2 rounds of the season to go. It'll be quite a finish as the battle to avoid the wooden spoon. I think I'm right in saying that Widnes have got a fairly difficult run in. They face Warrington here, the last home game of the season.
Wakefield away, I think.
Wakefield away, but hang on, here's Hanbury, and he's got support inside from Willie Isa, and Willie Isa will touch down for the second time tonight for Widnes. Dennis Best celebrates, and so do the crowd. But there are some glum faces behind those posts belonging to supporters of Hull FC. It's a long way from East Coast to West Coast. They've made the journey on this glorious day. They thought they would see their team consolidate their top 8 finish, their top 6 push, maybe even for better than that. But what they're watching here is their team being taken apart by the side sitting at the foot of the table.
Here's the error, Tom Briscoe. 3 errors in the opening few minutes, 2 tries conceded. You've got to make sure that you cut them down, and they didn't. Turner was sucked in. Great stuff. What a step. Isa. He could have had a hat-trick. Remember, he's got 2 already. That's great play. Look at the step there. If the one had not been turned down, remember, just had it. Beautiful little pass. And the offload was outstanding. Great stuff. Cameron Phelps is having a fantastic game. Hanbury, they're all playing as a unit, and they are just cutting this whole football club apart with ease.
Third different kicker. McShane's going to have a go now. McShane might have got the job for life. He's kicked the extras. Widnes are 13 points to 10 up. They've tried Craven. Problems for Peter Gentle. They've tried Hanbury. Only 2 from 5. Then McShane comes up with a third successful kick. Willie Isa's 2 tries. Widnes on the way to a victory.
2 wonderful bits of play there, wasn't it? Stephen Morris's offload, dragging in those defenders and getting the ball away. And Rhys Hanbury's ability to finish a situation where he dragged the defender across and is able to steady himself and position a great pass inside for them to score a try. 20-point difference now in this side, and between these sides and Hull FC. Well, they don't look like improving.
Well, Warrington albeit with 7 first-teamers sitting the match out, somewhat embarrassed by the London Broncos last night. Are Hull going to be equally embarrassed by the Widnes Vikings here? 30 points to 10, and still over half an hour to go. And Widnes full of it, absolutely full of it.
Yeah, they're running with vim and vigour. Dave Allen, good work.
Here's Stephen Marsh again. McShane waits. It's the last tackle here for the Vikings. High and off the boot of Hanbury again. It's spiralling all over the place. Well, there was a collision there.
Surely was taken out.
Must have been.
I mean, the whole
there was
player,
no attempt to go for that ball.
The whole player is spark out in the background. How on earth the official has allowed that to go on? Well, that's beyond belief.
It was, wasn't it, who collided with Tom Lynham, who's still down injured. Let's hope he's okay.
Well, he's stopped play now, which is he's done the right thing, but well, I cannot believe that neither the 2 touch judges or the man with the whistle did not see. What's this? Goes straight into it.
In his defence, he was looking at the ball until the very last minute. I wonder if it was self-preservation then. They're both looking at the ball.
That's a bad one to run into it. I know that, but I mean that should be just a penalty straight out. And then when he said play on, I mean that to me has got to be seen by the officials.
It looked very untidy, but you think it was?
I don't think it was malicious. No, I don't think it was malicious. I'd say careless, like you, Eddie.
Reckless? Is it reckless play? I mean,
either way, it should have been seen by the officials, and it should be a penalty straight away.
You know, if you tuned into this game and you weren't aware of where these sides sat on the table, what you would say is that the team chasing a place in the grand final and the team chasing, trying to make an impact, is the Widnes Vikings, and the other team down the bottom of the table after struggling through the season are Hull FC on this performance. It's been real reversal.
The referee wants a word with Cameron Phelps, obviously. Let's see what he says.
Check with the video referee once there was a breakdown in play. There is contact and there is... Yeah, okay. So it's a penalty going to go to the end and the incident's on report, okay? Yeah.
It's on report. Cameron Phelps, he was a Hull FC player this time last year, of course. They'll have a look at it. Cameron Phelps, I think, indicated he was also looking at the ball, which he was, and then there's just the collision.
Yeah.
It's wise to put it on report, but it's a little bit after the event. But haven't we had 1 or at least 2 play the ball since this?
Yep, he said play on.
I mean, looking at the ball is one thing. A genuine attempt to catch the ball is quite another. I think
and
Steve
it leaves Lynham coming off the field, as you see.
Steve Ganson's, I think he's handled that properly. I think he's put him on report. The people will take a look at it in the cold light of day, and Hull FC have a penalty now and get the ball back and see if they can show to their coach that they still have an interest in this season. I know they're still in the playoffs, but looking at this performance, you're not sure if some of these players believe that they can do anything really when the playoffs do start.
Brian, I don't think they could still win this game. I think they could come back.
Yeah, of course they could. You know, this is rugby league; anything can happen. But I made the quote before that this game started in as much that this was a chance for Hull FC to put down a marker and say anybody that's going to play us in the playoffs, you should be frightened. I'm afraid nobody watching this display from the visitors will have any fear whatsoever.
Jeremiah almost makes the breakthrough. Thing is, the adrenaline will really be pumping in the playoffs. It's a whole new competition that begins in the middle of next month. This is Lynch who gets the ball away. Here is Horn chiming in. Good hands from Crooks, finds Tom Briscoe. That's great defence, though. That's tremendous defence. Briscoe on Briscoe.
Stephen Marsh was there as well. That shows you the enthusiasm to get over there. He knows that could have been a turning point. They are desperate for points. Got himself into a good position. But Stephen Marsh, look at that. That is great work. Helped by Briscoe. That's good stuff.
You get the feeling that will please this team more than anything else. It's their defences that cause them so many problems, conceding on average around 40 points a game. But tonight, keeping Hull FC down to 10 and showing desperation like that from Stephen Marsh to come across, I think that will please their coach, Dennis Best, Mick Cassidy, and please these players.
Well, they have conceded over 1,000 points now. for the season. It was, I suppose, always going to happen as they got to grips with the pace and the ferocity of the step up from the Championship last year. And the huge change in personnel, of course.
Well, they made it quite clear it was going to be a learning curve.
It's given them something to build on, though, this year. If they do hang on for the next, what, 29, 28 minutes or so, and win for the 6th time,
and to be fair,
the foundations are in place.
Yeah, and to be fair, Steve O'Connor has made it quite clear that he's not prone not to get the checkbook out, as we've already seen. They will be getting Brown from Huddersfield next year.
Might be the only one, though, Steve-O.
Yeah, but slowly...
It might have cost a couple of bob.
I know, but slowly but surely, that man knows that they're building towards the future. He knew it wasn't going to happen within the first season, and neither did their coach, Dennis Betts. But as you keep saying, they have dumbfounded quite a few teams, especially Hull tonight.
And on this pitch as well, on this in this home ground of theirs. Oh, play on, says the referee. Well, they can't go back, can they? And oh no, they might do here. Lynch is allowed to carry on.
He's better off taking the tackle.
Better off taking the tackle, yeah, because if they looked at this on the video referee, he was batted down by Isa, wasn't it? Was it Willie Isa?
Cahill.
Or Cahill? Lynch.
Well, Lynch has said, I've just run 30 yards. Why you give it to me?
So Heremiah waits at dummy half. It now is with Seymour. Here is Manu. Marsh got to him. Manu goes down in a heap. Heremiah again. Chance here for Hull to get themselves back into this match. O'Mealy was the dummy runner. They found Ryan McGoldrick. Foster wanted a kick to the corner. He might get it anyway here. Jordan Turner loses his footing under pressure from Briscoe. That's 4 gone. Foster will switch the direction of the attack and find McGoldrick. Here's Richard Horne. Now Willie Manu. Manu tried to out-muscle them up the middle. Thought about the offload.
Good work again by Stephen Marsh. Made sure that Manu, so competent of getting the pass away.
Great catch. Great catch by Briscoe.
Did you see anything in that Hull FC attack that makes you think that they could go on and win this game? They've got some very, very good players out there, but that was a clueless couple of plays from a team that could do so much better.
Well, now it's Hull's turn to try and force an error from Widnes deep in their own half. Winterstein, his try really pepped up this Widnes side just before the break, didn't it?
Yeah, and they've utilised the forwards well. They've really brushed up. Oh, great stuff.
Cahill's been outstanding for them this year.
Yeah. Worked hard.
Every time we've seen them, he has been a standout performer.
I'm not so sure. I think he may have twisted the ankle. Oh, they're going to let this bounce again.
Horne will pick it up. Seems that Horne and Briscoe are sharing the full-back responsibilities right now.
Well, it surprised me that Petty General didn't make that move earlier.
So Ben Crooks gives it to Willie Manu. He will be halted by 4 Widnes defenders. Let's get news of young Lynham. It's Rod.
Well, at the moment, Eddie, they're just checking just how badly damaged Tom Lynham's ankle is, heavily iced up. He won't be back tonight. I think that's a pretty safe bet. But what has happened, as you've just alluded to there, is that Richard Horne switched back to fullback, and Tom Briscoe's gone out on the left wing, his more familiar position, and, well, who knows, maybe they should have stuck with that kind of format in the first place. But it's Horne to fullback and Briscoe to the left wing.
And Lynch, meanwhile, at the middle, finds Aspinwall.
A little bit quicker play of the ball, but you can see that they've been very crafty tonight. Widnes, they've held the man down with ball, and that should be back to a knock-on. There'll be play on, back to 6.
0 on the tackle count, you're right. He's pulled down there is Liam Watts.
Richard Horne he's stuck down here, Eddie. He's got hit very, very hard.
This is Ben Crooks. Yes, Horne is struggling in back play as Heremiah attacks the line, and Heremiah goes in for the try.
Good effort as well. If there was anybody on this whole side who was going to turn it around, it's this fella.
Injured in pre-season, Aaron Heremiah. He missed the first 17 of the year. This is his 9th appearance in a row, though, the former New Zealand Warrior, and a New Zealand Test international once upon a time, his only appearance for his country as a substitute against the Aussies, and this is good play from him here, pinching the try from a retiring and maybe tiring Widnes defence. That came off the head. That came off the head of Marsh.
Yeah, but it's pretty difficult for the official to see that in a tight collision. Horn getting treatment on the back there. That is a beautiful little dummy. There is still plenty of time. Just a lack of confidence there. Wasn't the best by Danny Craven. He took the dummy, sucked in. This man, Jeremiah, says there's a glimmer of hope. They're in a huddle, way back, waiting for this guy to hopefully add the extras.
Yeah, Lee Radford was the man out with the other players, trying to jostle them along as Foster adds the extras. 30 points to 16. Not finished yet. We might get a great end to this game.
Well, we might do. When you're in at marker, your first responsibility is to take care of the dummy half. Dave Allen, the defender on that occasion, got a little bit lazy. Jeremiah spotted that. As you said, Steve-O, it's a wonderful dummy to get himself over. What will that do to the team? What response will we get from Hull FC now that they've scored a try? There's 14 points in it. There's time on the clock if they suddenly start playing better and change their attitude and the approach that it brought for the first 56 minutes of this game.
Well, I think the mere fact that Peter Gentle has dropped back Richard Horn into that full-back position, maybe it adds a little bit more confidence into the side, but you never know. A try does wonders for your confidence. Can they just get through the basics?
They're asking Hull there for a penalty for Marcus not standing square. Steve Ganson unimpressed. Oh, the ball's come free.
It's a knock on. Well, Tom Briscoe is saying, well, how many seconds do I have to be on the floor with the ball before it's given as a I can't get up and play the ball, sir? I mean, you can't tell me that he's on there for I know it's slow motion, but
Paddy Flynn has had a reef of this ball. I'm pretty sure that Paddy Flynn on the ground has reefed this ball. Just have a look at Paddy Flynn there. There's a definite movement. He's reefed the ball. Tom Briscoe's hard done by. Hull FC are very, very hard done by on that occasion. The referee's got that one wrong.
And the thing is, Brian, is that Widnes have done that to great effect. They've stopped from Hull having any opportunity to try to play the ball quickly. Good opportunity here.
Hanbury's got it wide. Hanbury has halted, and a good job that McGoldrick was over there, and Hanbury is hurt.
I think he's trying to impress upon the officials that it was high on the chin. I'm not so sure. I think McGoldrick went right into the chest area. And at 30 points to 16, not a bad little option to maybe just slow things down. Ryan McGoldrick thinks that is exactly what's happening.
The problem with this, when we keep checking every single incident like this, that players will maybe perhaps do the thing we hate doing and take a dive and slow down, stay on the ground, force the referee to go and make a decision. He's got to be able to referee it on his own.
Well, I must say, it did seem quite high from McGoldrick. He's seen it, he's seen it.
It's on report as well, Ryan McGoldrick. Thing is, the referee, Steve, he had a really clear view of that in the first place. And he's erred on the side of caution. He's asked a couple of questions. He's got the decision right. But the manner in which they arrive at the decision has a bit of a question mark against it. But I suppose, so long as they get the right decision, that's all that matters.
Now then, you just watched the Hull players. They're supposed to be behind the line. And has he got them for offside? The answer is no. He got them off for kicking.
Good ball, Dave Allen forward, he says. Hull's head and feet at this scrum.
Boy, that was game over.
That was never forward.
Nothing wrong with that at all. We made the point, Eddie, is that if the referee wants to play to the rules right the way down the line for the full 80 minutes, he's got to do that.
Okay.
He pulled him up for the kickoff, and yet there was about at least 8 players that were offside, didn't have their feet behind the line.
Well, is it 2 feet or 1 foot now? I can't. McGoldrick's on report anyway.
It didn't matter.
Well, it changes so often. There were a few there, Steve, with the foot on the line and the...
Yeah, but it's not a few. There was only 2 offside from the kickoff. You haven't got to wait until the entire 13.
It should be 2 feet behind the line. I'm reliably informed.
And not 1.
And not 1 and straddled.
Yeah. Not 1 did it.
And you're right, there's a few that didn't have any on the line at all.
On the line is
2 feet on or behind, yeah. Yeah, so I suppose if we are being pedantic, you're right.
Yeah, and that's what we will be accused of it.
Jeremiah's kick to the corner.
It's a great one. Oh, fantastic!
Oh, Willie Isa had to ground that ball in goal. Good chase by Jamie Foster.
Brilliant kick.
Was it ever? And he really has turned this thing around, hasn't he? Jeremiah got the try that could just get him into a position.
That's a game changer. To kick the ball from the halfway line and force a goal line dropout. Look at Foster. Was he onside when he set off for that chase? Puts pressure on Isa and certainly makes him ground the ball as he lands on it.
And on this skiddy surface as well, it's an exceptional kick, that.
It's that kick out of dummy half as well. It's very, very difficult to read when you're sitting back there. You're watching the more obvious kickers and expecting them to call the ball. And suddenly, before you know it, somebody's popped out like Jeremiah's done on that occasion and stuck one into the corner. Can they get themselves back into this game? Can they give this travelling support something to cheer about?
Well, they've got plenty of time. 14 points the difference. And Lynch is out there trying for a captain's knock. He goes down 15 metres short of the line.
Dennis Betts has to get a message out. Look, we cannot just sit on this lead. Oh.
To knock on by McGoldrick. It's probably double knock on. And play the first.
Yeah, McGoldrick lost control of it.
Oh, hello, he's given head and feet to Hull FC here. Is that right?
What my thoughts would have been that McGoldrick knocked it on first, but that was on first glimpse.
No, it isn't.
No, he's got it right.
He's got it right.
My apologies, Mr. Ganson.
Here we go. This is your opportunity, Hull.
Scrum, lads.
Well, if they've got a set pattern, they brought Jordan Turner out wide. Remember, Tom Briscoe in his proper position.
On the far side of the field, marking nobody.
This is Seymour, just a drop of the shoulder, but can't get through the defender who was John Clark. Jeremiah, Lynch, short ball. Big hit on Liam Watts. He goes down 10 short of the line. Here's Jeremiah again, looking for the runners. That's a knock on by McGoldrick. Might have been one on each side here. The first one, it was a double knock on. Yes, and Widnes' head and feet. Well, if that was, and Andy Lynch doing his best to rally his troops, by the way, if that was Hull's big opportunity, it's just gone.
But that was good pressure. You know, Rhys Hanbury did everything right there. He got right into the face of Brian McGoldrick. He couldn't control it.
So Paddy Flynn trying to work this ball downfield. John Clark pointing and marshalling things behind the play the ball.
Safety first, get into a good position. Make sure that it goes out of the sidelines. Don't leave it in the field of play. The way some of this defence from Widnes tonight. Oh, he's lost it. It's a knock on.
Dear.
Oh, they didn't need that. Was it a fingertip? I think there might have been.
Not sure. I think he was just trying to get to his feet. Cahill.
Get at the side of the scrum then. That's where you've got to be if you want to be onside.
Well, he's had plenty to say to the players, as Mr. Ganson. Yeah, lost control of it.
Dropped that completely.
Yeah, and they didn't need it.
I won't be speaking again.
The loose forward knows it. You know, Cahill, though, is, as we often see, they don't push these days. He's gone into the prop position.
Chance for Jordan Turner.
Dangerous times now for Widnes, and they know it.
Yes, they're hanging on a bit, aren't they? It's McGoldrick. This is Watts. Gets the ball away. Horn. And he finds Jay Pitts. Seymour to Lynch. Lynch up the middle for the black and whites.
They've got to utilise the dummy runners. It's the only way they're going to confuse the defence.
Go.
Danny Houghton's back out there. Short ball.
Foul. Move.
Just held up short.
Hands out.
And he struggles to his feet again. Jay Pitts feeding it wide. Was that obstruction?
No,
the
it was a
fans
forward
thought
pass.
so.
And it was a shocker.
0.
They tried to force it, and it just wasn't on.
Hold.
Well, we'll get to see, don't we, this weekend, classic examples of how it's so hard to turn around your attitude and performance midway through a game. If you don't start right with a positive attitude and with the performance that's going to back that up, then it's very hard, whether it be 20 minutes or 6 minutes in the match, to alter it. See another penalty here now, and I guess the test for discipline now will be the whole thing. 15 minutes or so to go, 14 points behind. There is time.
When you've got your elbow right in his throat, right? And that's why he's been penalised. Now I suggest, he's got his elbow right in his throat on the ground. I suggest you calm down, Ryan. All right, okay. All right.
Well, the conversations between Ryan McGoldrick and Steve Ganson has been going on all night.
There'll only be one winner in that. He's got to be careful.
And elbow in the throat is why he's been penalised.
He's got him banged to rights, there's no doubt about that. But Ryan McGoldrick, for his team and for his supporters, for his coach, needs to play. When the ball in his hand, he's in danger. But doing that sort of stuff is nothing. He's going to liability to his team, and again, he'll handicap them in this game.
Winterstein gets to his feet and plays it to McShane. Cameron Phelps coming, no, not Cameron Phelps, I beg your pardon. It's Alex Gerrard coming forward. Here's Winterstein.
Good solid run.
McShane is there at dummy half. They're 25 metres away, Widnes. Clark just pops that pass up.
Don't waste this opportunity. They are in such a good position.
Oh, and they have wasted it courtesy of Briscoe. Knock on, play on, because Hull are in possession.
0. Move. Go.
Seymour took a bang then. This is Manu.
All Widnes needed there was to stay calm. They were in a good position there, and he knows Dennis Betts. It should have been a kick into the in-goal area, apply the pressure the other way.
His pulse rate and his blood pressure must be up and down like a yo-yo. McGoldrick again finds Horn, quick hands to Foster from Turner. Gets the ball away brilliantly. And here they come again with Watts.
And they've nothing to lose as Hull FC. Just keep this ball alive, just test them. You've got to take that risk. Ooh, it was a long pass, well taken.
Manu, good offload to Richard Horn. Puts the ball down. That's been the story of the game, both sides.
Too many errors, though, from Hull, and they know it.
And here's another penalty.
Tackle complete and pulled out.
Frustration. Lack of control. Lack of discipline. Too many errors. Keep totting those up, and you're not going to come up with a win.
There's a few trying out there, Steve, for Hull FC. Captain Andy Lynch, one of them. Discipline is going to let them down, but on a whole, it's not been overly impressive. Some of the tactics that seems to be drive it in 3 times and give the ball to Willie Manu and expect magic from him. And if he's not on his game, well, then you're coming up a bit short.
They've suffered a bit from travel sickness this year, the men from the KC Stadium. Home form, rock solid. Away from home, it's been patchy.
And that just about sums up Hull's performance tonight, Eddie. Very patchy.
Time running out for Hull FC as Clark gets the ball infield and finds Gerrard.
Another drive, take your time, control the game.
McShane to Clark, then wide it goes to Hanbury, inside to Briscoe. Briscoe gets the ball away. Was a man tackle without the ball there? No.
Why on earth did he not go and take the tackle? Why panic? You got Hull so close to it. Oh, sheer frustration, and the fact that he's had a fine game, there's no doubt about it. Sean Briscoe.
And Clark was definitely not tackled without the ball. At least they turned the ball over, as you see, deep in Hull territory. asking them to score a 90-metre try if possible, but he's been a bit in and out tonight, as Sean.
He's been the difference, though, Eddie.
Houghton with a long raking kick downfield. McGoldrick's leading the chase. Will this stay in the in-goal area? No, it won't.
Yeah. It needed to stay in, and the hooker, Danny Houghton, knew that.
But they have gone from one end of the field to the other hole, so I suppose that's a mini result.
They need the ball, Eddie.
The criticism of Hull is because of their position in the league. They're meant to be one of our top sides. They had a great result last week in beating the Catalan Dragons. They have played well this season, well enough to put themselves well up in the playoff positions, but you just don't want to limp in. We'll say it again, you want to get into the playoffs and make an impact. They have a chance to start tonight. Hasn't really happened for them.
The top teams don't make many errors. Simple, both in attack and defence. We've seen far too many.
2 games to go for Hull after this. Bradford away. Now that could be very difficult if it's the last Super League game to be played at Odsal for a while. We don't know. And Castleford at home. So there's still work to do. And there's still work to do here.
Good kick. The line-up on the 30. It's been a good all-round effort, I must say, from the Widnes outfit. The killing blow, of course, was those 2 tries just before the half-time break.
They turn it over on the first tackle. Not Tom's best.
No, nothing vintage about this from the visitors. More vinegar.
Clark and Marsh. Seymour does well, but he still manages to get the ball away. And Craven asked the question of the referee, am I allowed to carry on with this? And the answer is yes, you are. Watts stopped him. McShane. John Clark. Here's Hanbury. Couldn't get the return from Gerrard. He takes the tackle. Tackle number 3. 8 metres away from the line. McShane. Briscoe this time. Yes. Second try for Sean Briscoe. And Hull will go home beaten, and Widnes will collect win number 6 in the Stobart Super League 2012.
Quality play by Sean Briscoe. He's had his moments where it hasn't been the golden touch, but he has had more positive reaction. Created 3 tries as Sean Briscoe and scored 2 himself. Not bad. In fact, very good. Tom Briscoe, in fact, he was looking to offload. Was anybody there? No. Good position, back on the inside, as all fullbacks should do. It's been a day of the Briscoes, but this guy is taking home the plaudits. And the vital 2 points that the coach Dennis Betts was wanting desperately, especially with the fact that London picked up 2 valuable points last night. The race is on. Who wants that wooden spoon?
Well, Widnes don't, London don't, and Castleford don't. But someone's going to go home with it. Widnes have got a very difficult last 2 games. And McShane puts 2 more points on the board, and that should seal it.
I think it also answers any questions about whether Widnes were worthy to be in this competition. Some people have thought at times they didn't deserve a place in the highest division of rugby league in this country, but tonight's performance, and more for me, their improvement over the last 5 months justifies why they are a valuable member of the top 14 teams.
And does it justify the licence system, which is now under review as they think to go back to promotion and relegation?
Well, I think it does, although we have had problems with the way it's been done, but the principle I agree with you. Clearly agree with it as a principle.
Let's not get carried away. They're bottom of the table. They've conceded over 1,000 points. Let's not get carried away.
But Brian, without the licence and the fact that they're here for 3 years, the man we've just seen on the screen leading the applause for the try, the owner, the man who's put his money where his mouth is, a la David Hughes last night, they wouldn't be involved in this game.
Spot on, Eddie. And that's, well, it went...
It
looked a knock on.
It did. I think it might have come off his boot. Anyway, that's the way Steve Ganson saw it. Gives him benefit of the doubt.
Thought he had a fingertip to it. He's played his part off the bench. Paul McShane. A bit of spark to it to play the ball area. Oh, they got the overlap.
Oh, no, they haven't. It's an interception by Foster. And then he's lost it, but it went backwards. And he's lost it now, and Widnes have got it back. Well, it's comedy capers, and here goes Hanbury to seal the win. Nobody seemed to want to hold on to that ball. There he goes, Steve O'Connor again. A joyous night for him, a joyous night for David Hughes last night in London. But I'm afraid a miserable night for the supporters who've journeyed here from the KC Stadium. Rhys Hanbury crowns the Widnes victory.
Well, this was pat a cake, pat a cake. Who wants it? I don't, you do.
And sadly, Steve O'Hull are whispering their way into the playoffs.
They certainly are. Cameron Phelps, he's had a big night as well, Cameron Phelps. Got away with it. Liam Watts gets down, then he loses it. And Hanbury, who's had a fine game, he's had a good season. He's got the speed. Give him half the chance, as we've just watched. And it's all over Rover. Good positioning by Foster. Not the best, was it?
Neither was that.
Watts should have kept hold of it. Throw the dummy. No one went low. Two went high. Puts it down. Game over. Number 6.
McShane should add the extras here. Bang in front, and there we are. 42 points to 16, an emphatic win.
John Wells identified Rhys Hanbury before the game started. He spoke about how quick he was and how good he's been for Widnes this season. It's their willingness to throw the ball around that is most complimentary about this piece of play. They're not content to just take the tackle when Hull FC made a mistake. Widnes will throw the ball around and challenge Hull FC. They have scored points throughout this season. It's been their defence that's been the problem. And the fact that tonight they've only conceded 16, I believe, will bring the most joy.
And Hull compound the error. They've just hoofed it out on the full. 6 wins, but the last 3 of these wins for Widnes Vikings have come, and they've scored 40 or more. Out on the full. On the line is out.
Error count.
He will be...
Furious.
Well, I was going to say hugely disappointed.
I'm not sure he's seen anything tonight he can take away from this game. He might as well burn the DVD. They got a week off with the Challenge Cup final. They need to regroup, hit their last 2 games hard. As you say, there's a Bradford one there, which could potentially be a difficult game for them.
Well, but usually Bradford are in line for the 8 as well.
There's a few twists and turns for that 8 yet, but
I'll tell you what, Brian, you say burn the videotape. I think you'd like to burn a few of the players' boots out there, because there has not been a great performance by any of the visitors tonight. We had patches from Jeremiah, and that's about it. There's been some hard work from the likes of Andy Lynch, but really, they've been outplayed.
Good hands, but sadly, behind all the players out wide. He actually just looks over the shoulder and says, I'm not the touch judge.
Nope. And it just shows that they really are hungry for more and more points. They know they've conceded plenty this year. It's so nice to see the Widnes players enjoying scoring so many tonight. 42, in fact. A convincing win.
46-8, they won at Salford, remember, the Widnes Vikings. They won here 40 points to 10 against Castleford, with the exception of the likes of Leeds, who shoved 68 past them last week, and Wigan, who got 54 against them, and Warrington 68 against them. You know, the defence has tightened up. The big sides can exploit Widnes, but the ones around about them, they can match it with them.
Yeah, Dennis Betts made it quite clear before the season started, Eddie, that he wanted to try to make the home ground a fortress, make it difficult for anyone that was going to arrive here.
Well, they managed that.
Yeah.
Neely just loses that in collision.
Another error.
Craven has it back for Widnes. Some big guns have misfired for Hull tonight. Here's Stefan Marsh.
You could see he was trying to spin in the tackle offload, but again, even if he had, there was nobody there. A bit different from Widnes. McShane, nice offload yet again.
To Briscoe to Hanbury. Hanbury pokes his nose through. McGoldrick stops him, and they're going to have to stop Winterstein here if they can. Tight to the line, down he goes. Paddy Flynn wants this ball flung from that side of the field over to the right. He's screaming for the ball.
They want a hat-trick.
It's play on. Oh, penalty. He must have been offside.
Slightly.
John Kite denied. Must have been offside.
He's got him for obstruction,
he says.
Ah.
Very quick again to make his decision.
Well, Briscoe certainly went into the front and made contact. A let off, but quite frankly, I think the Hull side be quite happy when the hooter goes. He won't. He wanted to go on all night. Fair play. Well done by the coach, Dennis Betts.
Well, they waited a long time, 7 years to get into Super League. There was always going to be trials and tribulations ahead for the Widnes Vikings and their supporters, but they're enjoying this night. And Hull are having a shocker.
And even when he got to the ball, he dropped it.
The first knock on anyway.
Yeah, I know the referee had already...
Ben Crooks, you see, there's the knock on from him. Hacked forward by Briscoe, and then he couldn't pick it up either. It's been one of those nights for Peter Gentle, a bad night at the office. You get them, don't you, as coaches and as players?
You absolutely do, and they do have quality players. And remember where they are in the league and why they got there. That's what's most disappointing for Peter Gentle.
Now this is different. Kick right from the scrum base. It's going to bounce. It's going to be awkward. Foster's going back to it. Fantastic.
Hanbury leading the chase. It's a very good kick because all of Hull were up the other end of the field. Took them a while to get somebody back there to get the play the ball to. Forward pass.
Yeah.
Ben Crooks will have to come back.
So, to be fair, Eddie, I like to see a team to do that. The kick. It was John Clark. He was in the loose forward position, came out of the scrum. Why not? I think it's a good ploy. It surprises me that no other teams do it, or very rarely introduce it.
Trick shot now.
We've had a few of them tonight, haven't we?
Drop goal, Mike, just to finish it off.
No, I don't think they'll bother, but I think that the full-back, Sean Briscoe, has had a wow of a game. I think he'll want to say, any chance that you can give me the opportunity to score a try, or ISA, he'll be sniffing one.
Marshes. Oh, Paddy Flynn was. The game ends untidily. 15 seconds to go. It's head and feed to Hull, but I don't think anyone's in any rush to get this game going. The crowd counting down. Steve Ganson stops the party, calls time off. 42-16, 7 seconds left. Why?
I know. When the scrum's form, we've got to call time off.
Yeah, that's a good day at the office for Dennis Betts on his side and for their supporters. And you say home games are important to win in front of your fans. You want them to go home happy, and Dennis Betts will be absolutely delighted with the performance they put in. Players like Hep Cahill haven't let him down. They've done him proud.
No, they have, and the try from Winterstein just before half-time was the catalyst for this victory, and a handsome victory it is too. 42 points to 16. They've just kept Hull restricted to 3 tries. Turner, Westerman and Jeremiah. And they've scored 8 of their own. 8 tries to 3. That's a comprehensive victory. And Sean Briscoe gets the nod as man of the match against his former club. He's talking to Rod.
Well done on a man of the match performance. There's a bottle of champagne to celebrate with tonight. Very impressive performance, very impressive win for Widnes.
Yeah, I think we needed that, obviously, with London winning last night. We don't want to finish bottom, and that spurred us on. I think a great team performance. Lads stuck at it for a full 80.
It's a three-way go for this bottom place. Castleford have been dragged into it. You will need to win another game, though, or both games, because of the points difference.
Yeah, we know we've got 2 tough games. We've got to go to Wakey, and Warrington have got to come here on last game of the season. So, as you can see, we're improving week after week, and hopefully we can take another step forward into these next few games.
Yeah, I bet you wish the season could carry on for another sort of 10-12 weeks, because you really are getting into your stride now, aren't you?
Yeah, we are, and obviously a lot of people wrote us off earlier this season and said that one of the worst sides that they've seen, but we knew collectively that we could improve week after week, and this season's been about progression for us.
Well done on a win against your old club. I'm sure that's very sweet. Where will you send the £100 charity money for us, Sean?
I'm going to send it to Wigan Stars. They do a lot to help my brother as well, so to them.
Well done, Sean. Thanks for that.
Cheers, Rob.